Hello Wolfpack, it's going to be a quick video today because honestly I don't really see there is much to talk about in the market. Now some people will have you believe that this move is incredibly bullish. I would completely disagree with that presumption, and I would say that this move is actually entirely bearish. I don't see many bullish arguments to be made during this move other than the fact that the candle is green. Right, that's the only thing I'm kind of seeing here. I mean, in terms of long-term or medium-term resistance, we really haven't done much. I mean, we've got, for example, the Bollinger Bands telling us that, well, nothing's really happening, and we've actually reached the top of the band, acting as the resistance above or just above the resistance line here, this red resistance box between 40k and 43k, and so that would recommend that, hey, or suggest people are coming bullish at resistance, which is bearish, and then we've got, for example, the VVPR, the volume profile, showing us the POC at 47k, and how it would be very tough to break through that region. We've got bull market support band just above us there, Ichimoku cloud above us as well, and the 50-day, which is guarding, and we've actually just rejected from guarding the breakout point at 43k. Seriously, guys, I don't know how else to put it, and if you want to disagree with me, you can, but please, if you disagree with me, go down to the comment section, give me an actual reason why you disagree with me based on technical analysis, not just calling me a perma bear. Because I've been bearish in the market since 66 to 63k. That's when I first started advocating selling. Now, my current prediction of Bitcoin going to the 200-week SMA, which is down to this green line, was first made at around the 58k region. Okay, so technically I've been bearish, fully bearish since 58k. Why would I be bullish again at 42k after dropping to 33? You know, it's pretty clear that my prediction is playing out perfectly. It's pretty clear that this is a dead cat bounce, you know, from what I'm seeing at least. Give me a reason. I want to see other opinions. I don't just want to see insults in the comment section. So, with that said, why am I bearish going into resistance other than the facts that I've just listed there? So obviously I've just listed it for the reason being that we haven't actually regained any valuable resistance during this whole time. I mean, nothing's been regained besides a couple of static resistance, like we've regained 40k at support now. But other than that, you know, all of the dynamic resistance zones are still acting as resistance. They're not support yet. And another reason, and this is probably the biggest reason I'm seeing. Look at the volume. It's not rocket science. Volume is one of the first things you should be learning in TA. If you don't know TA, learn the volume first. It's probably more important than support resistance. The volume is very, very, very telling. Now, total volume doesn't matter. I had someone tell me that, well, the volume's less than it was in the initial breakout in 2021, so what you're saying is irrelevant. Total volume is not what matters, right? Total volume means nothing. It's where the volume is moving and what the volume is doing that means something. And right now, what we can see is the volume moving sharply, and I don't even mean lightly, it's sharply downward trending in this upwards trend, which means that the buying momentum is decreasing the higher we go up as people get less willing to buy into this rally. Now, this tells us, just using logic, that people are seeing this, or the market movers, maybe not retail's getting faked out, but the market movers are seeing this current move as a dead cat bounce, and they're getting less and less willing to buy into the move the higher we go, because they realize the higher we go, the higher risk they're taking on, the higher chance will be rejected, right? So the volume's decreasing rapidly in this upwards trend. And when, look at this volume on the last daily candle, absolutely abysmal. We haven't seen volume that low. We saw it on Christmas. We saw the same volume on Christmas than we saw yesterday. And you could say, well, it was a Sunday, but that's not an excuse, right? It was ridiculously low. And even if you're taking out the weekend, take the weekend out of the equation. I mean, we had Saturday here, Sunday here. Look at Friday. Friday when we had this massive green candle. Even on Friday, the volume was abysmally low. Even on Friday, the volume is downtrending. So, this volume is terrible, and that just basically tells us objectively, this is not my opinion, this is the objective reality of the situation. I say that a lot these days because I feel like it needs to be said in this market. It looks terrible. It doesn't look good. It looks weak. Right? And does this mean, hey, does this mean we can't break to the upside? No, not at all. Not at all. We definitely could, right? We definitely could. But what I think it would take is either a big stroke of luck or an actual news event. A news event that is bullish, that pumps us past this resistance zone here. Because I can tell you right now, this 43k resistance zone doesn't look likely to break. And even if it does break, right? And that's kind of an assumption itself. We've still got this uptrending red line. We've still got 45.5k. We've still got 48k. And then on top of that, we've got all of these things which I've listed before that are acting as resistance within those regions. And, on top of that as well, I know a lot of people like to think that the interest rates are already priced in. But, regardless of whether they are or not, they're coming in March. Interest rates are rising in March, mid-March. And why would you want to be in the market when that's happening? It's way too risky. If you've seen volatility in a market before, in a cryptocurrency market. I mean, look at this one daily candle we had back here in December the 4th, right? It went from 54K all the way down to 42K. And what I think you will notice is that the same people who are claiming the interest rates rising are priced in are the same people who say, well, the majority is always wrong. And it's like, well, if the majority believes the interest rates are already priced in, then you're probably going to get flushed out, mate. That's what I'd say to that. And I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on that, probably later today or tomorrow, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is kind of just to say, well, I seriously, I genuinely do not see how this is a bullish move. I want someone to point it out to me. I'm not trying to be obnoxious. I'm saying I don't see it. I don't see how this is bullish. I can't be convinced right now that this is bullish unless I see something that I haven't seen before. And for that reason, if you've got anything, please point it out to me. I've looked at every chart. The weekly chart looks more bearish than the daily chart. The daily chart looks terrible. If we go down to the shorter time frames, you might get away with saying it looks okay, like 4 hourly. I'd say this looks okay, right? The 4 hourly, we're coming up, we've had this cup formation and we're coming up on this resistance zone here and we're just about to break 43K, it could happen. But then you look above us here, even on the 4 hourly, look at that resistance zone here throughout December at 45.5K, that's major. And then you look, all of a sudden, you look here on the volume and it's like, well, the entire time we've been moving upwards, we've just been downtrending on the volume. Like even on the 4 hourly chart, it's a bit skeptical. And people are getting so bullish at resistance here. I mean, we just closed the daily candle with a considerable wick to the upside, rejecting off resistance, and people are getting bullish into this. I don't know, guys. I feel like I'm ranting, but seriously, I don't see how this is bullish right now. I hope to be proven wrong because, as I've said previously, if I'm proven wrong, I make a shit ton more money and I get a shit ton more followers. And that's not being, cocky or whatever. It's just the reality of the situation is I am better off if I'm proven wrong here. But I'm just telling you the truth. I don't see how this is bullish. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.